watching News Channel 3, live at 11.
A man is in a Calhoun County jail while an officer recovers from a gunshot wound in Battle Creek. According to the city of Battle Creek, officers responded to a home on Cherry Street because of children screaming inside the home. Police found Andre Yarbrough. Yarbrough has 9 outstanding warrants in Calhoun County.
It's about 45 minutes later that Officer Johnson calls out that he was running on foot, that he identified Yarbrough fleeing the home. It was within moments of that transmission that shots were fired.
Police spent over 12 hours looking for the 30-year-old. A tip from the Silent Observer led police to an apartment where a K-9 search unit found Yarbrough inside a closet. He's behind bars and facing assault with intent. Officer Jeffrey Johnson had surgery this morning. He's expected to make a full recovery. Another man is behind bars in Battle Creek, accused of threatening people with a gun. Officers responded to a home on Redner Avenue just after 10:30 this morning. Police say they had to force their way inside a garage. Inside, officers found 3 people. Police arrested 1 man. A SWAT team was also called out to the scene.
Because of what happened to our officer earlier, we're taking all precautions, and so you see a large amount of units and equipment moved to each scene as we check those situations out.
Officials say this is not connected to this morning's officer-involved shooting. There's a live look outside of South Beach. In South Haven, things look pretty calm compared to a few days ago, but that could all change tonight. Meteorologist Will Haney is tracking some rain headed our way. He's in Severe Weather Center 3. Will, we are in for a wild night, right?
Yeah, Tavares, and if you haven't seen the video that guy over there posted the other day of the flooding on South Haven, South Beach, it was crazy. Fortunately, hopefully things were recovering just slightly. But for now, we're all talking about this winter storm that's pushing through parts of the northern plains. We're seeing some snow in parts of the Dakotas, down towards Nebraska, and even up towards Wisconsin. For us, we're mainly talking rain, but this is the system that's wreaking some havoc on travel for, again, the north central United States and then also into New England tomorrow. If you have any travel plans, and even in our state, in the UP or northern lower, it's going to get a little dicey. But rain becomes more widespread for us. We're already starting to see some of that rain moving in, some of it a little bit heavy. I've had some reports of that in places like Holland, up towards Muskegon as well. In places like Van Buren and Kalamazoo County, it's very hit or miss, but I was seeing a light shower in Kalamazoo just a few moments ago. Our temperatures, though, fortunately for many of us in the mid to upper 30s, could see some snowflakes and freezing rain, though, up north of I-96, and that's where we have the winter weather advisory that started at 7 p.m. It continues all the way through 1 a.m. on Monday morning, so this is all day tomorrow, and that also is the same timing for the winter storm warning up north. I'll be breaking this down and talking about the potential impacts of icing and also snow coming up a little bit later in the show.
Thanks so much, Will. You can keep track of the latest weather developments no matter where you are. Be sure to download the Severe Weather Center 3 app. You can find it for free in the App Store. And one man is heading back to Michigan after police say he robbed a store in Berrien County. According to the Berrien County Sheriff's Office, Jahari Lenore and another person robbed the approved cash store in Niles Township while armed. Officers from South Bend were able to find the vehicle used in the robbery. Officials say police found Lenore near the vehicle. He's waiting to be extradited to Michigan. Officials say they have identified the second suspect. A suspected robber is recovering from a gunshot wound in Kalamazoo. According to the Kalamazoo County Sheriff's Office, a man broke into a closed business on River Street in Comstock Township last night. Investigators say an employee then confronted him and shot him. The injury is non-life-threatening. And today is the 1-year anniversary of Brittany Shank's disappearance. Tonight, her family held a candlelight ceremony in hopes that one day she'll return home.
Thank you guys for all coming.
All right, sweetie, here. You gotta hold your hand up here so it doesn't go out, okay? Bow our heads, say a little prayer.
This past year has been filled with prayers.
Pray that you can help us. Don't lose hope, don't lose the faith, and, you know, keep on putting the word out.
Those are the words of a mother who is missing her daughter every day she is away from her. Brittany Shank was last seen in the 3300 block of Fawn River Road a year ago.
How you doing, buddy?
Jessica Rolfe says being without her gets harder every day, but she will never stop looking.
We have been on search after search after search. I have tromped through the mud. I have dug in the dirt. I have look through the waters.
She says what's been so hard about this journey is not having the support she would like from people. But even without the support, she is praying her daughter will return home soon.
It's been a long journey, just a few of us, that have kind of come together to see that she gets brought justice and gets brought home somehow.
She says for those who have someone missing right now, do not give up. And Brittany, if you're watching, your mom has this message for you.
Come home, let us know that you're okay somehow, some way. We love you. We miss you.
Shank is described as a white female, approximately 5'1" and 110 pounds, with brown hair and hazel eyes. Anybody with information on Shank's whereabouts is asked to contact the St. Joseph County Sheriff's Office. And new tonight, people in one Michigan city are mourning the loss of a mayor. Trenton Mayor Kyle Stack died yesterday. There will be visitation at Trenton City Hall on Wednesday. A funeral is planned for Thursday morning at St. Joseph Catholic Church. Stack was 62 years old. And we're just hours away from the state's first recreational marijuana sale. Starting tomorrow, recreational shops will be able to sell in the state. Some medical marijuana facilities will be able to transfer some of their product over to be sold recreationally. So far, there are 6 retailers allowed to sell recreational or adult use pot tomorrow. That includes 4 in Ann Arbor. One company's owner says he's had to bring in extra help to prepare for the influx of new customers.
We were the first shop to get a medical license, and now we're one of the first to get a recreational license. So we're getting a lot of interest.
State licensing officials expect nearly a dozen more recreational businesses to be licensed by January. As recreational shops get ready to open their doors, we want to keep you informed. You can go to Michigan marijuana coverage by going to our website at WWMT.com, or you can check out our news app. And the 2019 firearm deer season has officially come to an end, and the deer baiting ban has led to a loss of revenue for small businesses. This was the first season where hunters weren't able to bait deer in the Lower Peninsula. The Natural Resource Commission banned baiting in certain areas in hopes to stop the spread of chronic wasting disease. For some Michigan businesses, not being able to sell deer bait has had a real impact on their bottom line.
Our business money-wise is down about 60 to 75% because at this time of year, that was a large portion. For an example, last year during the hunting season, we would sell 16, 18 ton of corn a week. This year, we're lucky to sell 1 ton.
Right now, it's too early to tell what impact the baiting ban has had on hunters' success in the field, but lawmakers have already introduced legislation in Lansing to try to repeal the ban. The United Auto Workers says it's reached a deal with another automaker. Today, the union reached an agreement with Fiat Chrysler. Officials say the deal includes a $9,000 signing bonus and a promise to not close any assembly factories for the next 4 years. Top union leaders still have to approve the deal. 47,000 union workers will then have to ratify it. Fiat Chrysler is the last company to settle a new contract with the UAW. And it's that time of year again to start thinking about presents. But if you're thinking about giving a pet as a gift, why one local expert says you might want to think twice. Plus, parts of the country are now expecting some wild weather. We have the latest as millions brace for a winter storm.
WWMT.com, anywhere.
It's the day after Black Friday, but that's not stopping people from hitting the shops too.
It's that time of year where people come out and really support local businesses, and people consciously choose to support small business. It's one of our busiest days of the year.
Today is Small Business Saturday. The event was created 9 years ago. The goal is to encourage consumers to ditch the big retail stores for a day and shop at the local mom and pop stores.
Support your friends, support your families. What keeps Kalamazoo special is that it's a lot of small business owners, and when we don't support that, we lose that uniqueness. So, yeah, come out and shop local.
Small Business Saturday saw $470 million in sales nationwide by 9 this morning. And people in one West Michigan city had one more shop to stop by on Small Business Saturday.
That kid in the candy shop feeling, whether they're a kid or an adult, and that's what we wanted to bring to Mattawan.
The Mattawan Candy Company opened its doors for the first time today. It's run by a husband and wife who wanted to offer something new to the city. The business's owner says it's all started because of a conversation with their son.
My son and I, we drive by every day after school, and one day he just was asking me why we never get marzipans anymore. And I said, well, there's not a lot of places to get that kind of specialty candy. And this was open, and we drive by it every day, and it just kind of clicked. Well, maybe we should, offer a place that we can have that kind of specialty candy.
The shop's owner says they worked to make sure that they were opened on Small Business Saturday. And people are still hitting the stores trying to find the best gift for their loved ones. It could be an iPad or a brand new TV. There's one gift experts say you should never get, and that's pets. The manager at Red Arrow Animal Clinic says getting a pet sounds pretty good, but oftentimes people don't have the time for a pet. Victoria Beck says when you get a pet, it can take up a lot of time and obligation to care for it. Beck says if you are a pet lover, there are other options to help out the pet community.
It's always good to just give a gift card to a shelter or a rescue group if a pet is something they've talked about and you want to give them a pet, just giving them a gift card so that they can go pick out their own pet that matches their personality. And no matter how much your kids say that they're going to take care of a pet, ultimately you as an adult are going to be responsible for that pet.
She says when pets are given as gifts, oftentimes they end up in shelters because people can't properly take care of them. And millions are preparing for a winter storm. What's being done to make sure people are ready for the wicked weather?
I did some early shopping this year.
Welcome back to News Channel 3 Live at 11. I'm Tavares Haywood. Tonight, nearly the entire country is feeling the impact of a historic storm. Blizzard-like conditions hammered parts of South Dakota. 10 inches of snow fell in Rapid City alone. And tonight, 70 million Americans are under weather alerts from California to Maine. Danya Backus is in California.
After a powerful storm dumped rain and snow across the West.
They were telling us for a week we were going to get it, and we got it.
Another is expected this weekend as millions of holiday travelers make their way back home.
The rain was going horizontal, and you could hardly see. The visibility was really, really bad.
In Arizona, the National Weather Service says 3 tornadoes ripped through the Phoenix area Friday, leaving behind a path of debris and destruction. Northeast of Phoenix, 2 children are dead, 1 other missing after a family vehicle was swept away by floodwaters. Wind gusts of up to 90 miles per hour caused whiteout conditions in parts of Colorado. And in Utah,
it was dumping about 1 inch an hour right now.
Snowplow truck drivers were working around the clock to clear roads. California saw up to 4 feet of snow in some areas.
We saw when we got to Sacramento, our ETA kept going up and up.
The weather snarling traffic and causing gridlock for those hoping to beat the holiday rush back home. Forecasters say Friday was the literal calm before the storm. In Northern California, rain and snow has started and is expected to not let up until Tuesday. Danya Backus, CBS News, Los Angeles.
Yeah, busy travel day for sure. Not good timing to have this big epic storm working its way through the central United States. Here's the look at really the timeline of things. This is really the next 24 hours. This low slides on through, dumps a lot of snow in parts of the northern central United States, but then it moves off to New England tomorrow. There's the system out in California. This is actually kind of a new one that's going to park itself out over the coast. Here's all those winter weather alerts, though, that are in play. I'll step out of the way so you can kind of see these, but the area of orange there in parts of the Dakotas and northern Nebraska, that's actually the blizzard warning. Over a foot of snow in several locations. Really, really treacherous conditions. Winter storm warnings extend all the way into the UP and northern lower. For us here, though, most of us in West Michigan and all of us, I should say, in our viewing area under a winter weather advisory. And then there's the, again, impacts that they're going to feel in the Northeast tomorrow. So this is the details. Sleet and freezing rain coating about 1/10 of an inch up to, in some locations, per the National Weather Service, 4/10 of an inch. I think that's going to be a little bit more likely, mostly north, just north of our northernmost counties. And then snow accumulation anywhere from 2 to 5 inches. The 5-inch totals will be again towards farther to the north. Here's the view right now in South Haven, though. Things a little bit damp. We've had some rain working its way through. Here's the view in Kalamazoo. Looks like a little bit of a reflection there on the runway at the airport. So likely just a little bit damp. We haven't seen quite as heavy of rain as we saw working its way through places like South Haven or Holland. I got a few reports from viewers that it was a pretty steady rain, but it's brief. You can see it's not necessarily a blanket of rain, but we're going to continue to see the moisture spread in as we head into the overnight hours and early tomorrow morning. A few showers in Van Buren County, excuse me, out towards Paw Paw right now. You're probably seeing some of that rain. And then as we look a little bit farther to the north, places like Kent County, you see those pinks that are starting to show up just north of Grand Rapids. Likely some form of mixed precipitation, maybe some freezing rain already starting to settle in a little bit farther to the north as well. So it's going to get a little bit more dicey along and north of I-96. That's where we have that winter weather advisory in play. So hour by hour continues to bring mostly rain in, but notice the purples farther to the north. Again, those mixed types of precipitation, that's what we're a little bit more concerned about. The rain continues for a majority of us, though, through about, I would say, 9 a.m. tomorrow morning, the more widespread rain, and then it's just hit or miss showers and some snow up north throughout your Sunday. Notice how the system kind of pivots through late, and for that reason, we could have some additional rain showers later on in the day. Maybe a few snowflakes as well mixed in there, I think, by tomorrow afternoon for even Kalamazoo. There's the potential icing, though. You can see it's literally concentrated almost smack dab on top of and north of I-96. The potential is there up to about 1/4 of an inch, I think, within our viewing area. The heaviest totals, though, like we said, from the National Weather Service, they're quoting up to about 4/10 of an inch. Then the snow really settles in tonight and tomorrow for especially the UP and northern lower. As we look here in our area, you notice some totals closer to about maybe 1/2 an inch to 1.5 inches, closer to Grand Rapids or Ionia. But then farther to the north, places like Mecosta County, Newaygo County, Oceana, that's where it's going to be a little bit more impressive. You look at the northern part of our state, they're going to get maybe 10 to 15 inches in the UP. So a little bit more treacherous. If you have any travel plans up north tomorrow, I just wouldn't do it. I would wait till Monday. Our wind will also be a little bit of an issue tonight, gusts up to about 35, maybe even 40 miles an hour. So you add that on to the wind and the snow, not a good idea, or not a good situation for power outages potentially. And then for Sunday into Monday, things kind of wrapping up. We'll see a few snow showers early in the day on Monday, but if you're trying to hang up those holiday lights or doing any outdoor decorating, the rest of the week, for the most part, pretty quiet in your Maple Auto Group 70 forecast. So a bit of a dip in temperature, a little bit cold on Monday, middle 30s, but then fairly seasonal for the rest of the weekend. So even some sunshine to look forward to as we wrap up the work week.
So again, you said if you're traveling up north, just maybe count those
Yeah,
winds.
I just wouldn't do it. Tomorrow's looking really dicey, a lot of snow, and then early in the morning, especially with the ice potential, I just would play it safe, stay home.
Gotcha. Be safe out there.
Yeah,
The
definitely.
Michigan Wolverines hosting top-ranked Ohio State today in the Big House. Andy Pepper has highlights of the game next in sports.
I did some early shopping this year.
The Michigan-Ohio State rivalry is arguably the greatest in all of sports, but that rivalry has become a completely lopsided affair. Ohio State, winners of 8 straight and 15 of the last 16 overall, scoring over 50 points in each of the last 2 matchups for the first time in the history of the yearly showdown known simply as the game. Wolverines and Buckeyes meeting for the 115th time, we counted, this afternoon in Ann Arbor. First quarter, Wolverines striking first, and that's Giles Jackson. 22-yard touchdown scamper, get in there, extra point. No good, 6-0, Maize and Blue. Still first quarter. Michigan now trailing 14-6. Shea Patterson to Donovan Peoples-Jones. A lot of names, 1 touchdown. 14-13 at that point. Patterson, 18-43, 305 yards, touchdown and a pick. Ohio State, though, pulling away in the third. J.K. Dobbins, monster game. 31 carries, 211 yards, 4 touchdowns, 28-13 Buckeyes. Fourth quarter, Michigan just trying to keep pace. Hassan Haskins, 2-yard score. He had 12 carries for 78 yards. Haskins then with a 2-point conversion to make it a 42-27 game. But as you all know by now, don't call it a comeback. Justin Fields, 14-25, 302 yards, 4 touchdowns. Austin Mack on the other end, OSU a winner, 56-27. Mike McCann has more from the Big House.
Andy, as the saying goes, insanity is doing the same thing over and over and expecting different results. Well, for Michigan football, there have been changes to the way they approach this Ohio State game. But once again, the Buckeyes give the Wolverines the same results. Ohio State winning its 8th straight in the game, this time scoring 56 points against the Michigan defense. And for head coach Jim Harbaugh, now through 5 regular seasons, no Big Ten East titles and no wins over his arch rival. So it's easy to see why he might be getting a little bit frustrated.
Jim, is this a talent gap? Is it a preparation gap? Is it a coaching gap? What is the biggest difference between you and Ohio State at this point?
I mean, I'll answer your questions, not your insults. So
That wasn't an insult. I mean, you give them 118 points in 2 years.
they played really good. They played good.
No one's happy. Definitely really frustrating, especially for the seniors. But it's just kind of the same thing every year. Got to execute better.
We just got to be so much better. There's nothing we haven't seen before. It was all as expected. We just got to execute better and just all do our jobs, and we didn't, and that's hurt us.
So for the 8th straight year and the 15th time out of the last 16 tries, Michigan will end its regular season with a loss to Ohio State. Now, the year is not over. Michigan obviously going to a bowl game, and the Wolverines will have a chance to clinch their 4th 10-win season in 5 years under Coach Harbaugh. The question becomes, is it enough? In Ann Arbor with Michigan football, Mike McCann, News Channel 3.
MSU hosting Maryland. The Spartans needing a win over the Terps to become bowl eligible. Late second quarter, Sparty on the doorstep. Brian Lewerke lowering that shoulder. 1-yard score. MSU up 13-7 at the half. Third quarter now. Fear the Turtle. Anthony McFarland Jr. getting loose. And yeah, show him your taillights. 63-yard touchdown run for the sophomore. Terps up 16-13 after 3. Late fourth quarter now. Brian Lewerke going to work. Back-to-back completions to Trey Mosley, totaling 31 yards. Mosley, 8 catches, 73 yards. Lewerke, 30 of 41, 342, couple of picks. Matt Coughlin then looking to win this thing from 33 yards out. And Coughlin, good. Spartans are bowl eligible, 19-16, that final. To the ice, the Red Wings home this evening against the Caps. Let's jump ahead. Third period action, Wings trailing 3-1. Luke Glendening gonna slice that deficit in half with his 4th of the season, but that was it for the good guys. Alex Ovechkin, pair of empty netters to seal the deal. The Wings now winless in their last 9. 5-2. I'm gonna wait for Ovechkin. It just seems polite. Your final in Detroit. All right, Shane Cliff-Bell's WMU women closing out the UTEP Thanksgiving Classic with a 79-76 win over New Mexico State. Jordan Walker, season high 26. Leah Wool, 22-15 for the Broncos. The K-Wings wrapping up their 5-game road trip with a win tonight in Wheeling. Former WMU Bronco Matheson Icapelli lighting the lamp in the third. K-Wings 4-1 win over the Nailers. Stick around if you would. News Channel 3 continues after this.
This December at Gun Lake Casino.
Finally tonight, Will, you are going to love this one. The holiday season is off to a great start for the Beehive.
I need it.
Beyonce is releasing a new collection. It's called the 2019 Shop Beyonce Holiday Line that includes gifts, clothing, and accessories. It's also a holiday-specific merchandise like ornaments and wrapping paper.
I want that ornament.
I want the holiday.
It's probably like really expensive.
I want to get you
like
that shirt for Christmas. How about that?
Didn't you just put a ring on it, Will?
I did. Yeah, to be honest.
Segue.
Okay, what's for weather?
Oh, don't worry about it. It's okay.